I don't go online all that much, but oh my gosh, I'm like, how did this young sort of pretty yoga instructor from West Hollywood become genocidal and become totally indifferent to the murder of my friend? Like, how could this even be?
It's
and of
too
course,
dark
that's
to take
downstream from, but it's a lot of people have become that way, you know. And
oh yeah,
don't
you
become
meander
that way.
over to
Don't
Blue
become
Sky.
that way.
It's a dark couple of hours. Do you worry, Tucker? People have asked me this in the last 24 hours, and I'll ask you the question. You know, there's not another more prominent news person than you, and there's not one that's been attacked with the same terms they used against Charlie that have been used against me too, than you. So do you worry now? Because the shooter's at large, and even once they catch this guy, and I think they will catch this guy, he's not the only deranged person out there or agenda-driven.
I mean, I kind of don't want to answer the question, but if I'm being, okay, I will. Yeah, I mean, I've had some things happen in the last few years that I'm never going to talk about because my family doesn't want me to, but like, I've had cause to think about this a lot. And I really feel like it's up to God. I really sincerely feel that. Now, I have a very big family. I'm at the head of the family, so I have concerns that extend far beyond me, and that is a subject of prayer every single day, including this morning. But I don't think that we can choose the time. I don't think we can extend our lives. I really believe, and I really mean it when I say this, I'm not just posing, that all of this is in God's hands. So I do believe that. It doesn't make me not take precautions or whatever. Actually, it has made me not take precautions, but I've been encouraged to take precautions anyway. So I'm not actually worried. I mean, I've had several things that I consider very, very close calls. And so over the last 20 years, so I've thought about it a lot. And I feel, I just feel sad for Charlie's family. I feel sorry for Erica in a way that's really kind of hard to express. And it's definitely not about me. And we set up a fund for Erica and the children. I think it's going to go online in a minute. We seeded it with a bunch of money, and I hope others will follow because.
Amen.
Because I think, I mean, what can you do? I mean, I don't have it. I mean, I talk for a living. I've written a bunch of books. I feel like I'm more eloquent than average. I have nothing wise or edifying to say. You know, you stare in the face of a 31-year-old man assassinated, obviously to send a message to the rest of us. And it's like, what do you say? I have nothing to say.
I know. That's how I felt yesterday when it was unfolding. It was like, I wish I had some profundity to offer. It's hard to know even where to categorize this. It does feel like a before and after moment. It feels like a before and after moment. We haven't seen open season on political commentators before. It does feel like it's evil incarnate, that we have to accept there's evil amongst us. You see a bunch of Christian children shot down in their school church. That's evil. There's not a lot of other words for it. But as with all these situations, in order to go forward, you have to look for the helpers, Mr. Rogers style. You're one of them here. JD Vance, an amazing post online last night talking about how much Charlie meant to him. And this just came in as we were talking, Tucker. The New York Times reporting that Vice President JD Vance and his wife Usha, we knew that they were planning on going and meeting with Charlie's family. But now it comes out that they are meeting with them, in Salt Lake City. That's where Charlie's body was brought there. And that Kirk's family and friends, as well as his casket, will then be flown on Air Force 2 to Phoenix, Arizona. This is where Charlie lived, in Arizona. According to an official familiar with the matter, Vance is retrieving Kirk's casket while paying his respects. That's extraordinary.
It is extraordinary, and I would say J.D. Vance is an extraordinary man. He's not like any other politician I've ever met in a lifetime of knowing them. So I will say that.
He talked about how
saying that, but it's true.
No, but he talked about in his post last night about how he'd been on your show a couple times and Charlie helped him and gave him some advice, and Charlie brought him through some rooms when he hadn't even yet declared for Senate, and kind of gave him feedback on like, maybe this is something you could do that's great. It was always there. That even when he became a public figure and was thrust into the national spotlight as VP nominee, his kids were thrown, like this is a lot of attention. Charlie was one of the first to call and repeatedly check on how they were doing. I mean, it's just such a I know you knew him well. You know, Mark Halpern, I asked you this one time you were on, had said that you and Don Jr. and Charlie Kirk, he described you as the board of directors, you know, to Trump. You humbly said no, but you knew him well. You talked to him all the time. It's just trying to understand the void that's been left by this senseless murder it feels impossible.
I agree with that, but I do think it makes a kind of sense. I mean, above all, Charlie represented belief in God, and that is the divide. I'm sorry to say that, and I'm certainly not trying to inspire religious-based conflict. It's a contradiction in terms. Read Luke 6. I mean, you know, Jesus does not endorse violence. Honestly, even in self-defense, he says. So, you know, people can grapple with that as they will, but that's what it says. And so I am totally opposed to violence, but that is the dividing line. It's not left or right, Republican, Democrat, trans, straight, or whatever. There's an effort to recast this as a different kind of contest between worldviews. The dividing line is, do you think God exists or do you think you are God? And it's that simple. It has always been that simple. It will never change. And I think our souls are at stake. I really, really believe that. I think Jesus is the only answer. Sorry. And that is in some ways a very triggering thing to say, and which tells you right there.
Too bad.
It's true. Yeah. Well, it's true. And I'm not saying that to provoke. I'm saying that because I believe it. And it is the only answer because you can see exactly where this goes. And so, you know, the one religion in the world that stands up and says no, and then is hated for it, like that tells you this is a spiritual war. And that's the only way out. And I've thought a lot about this. And the last thing I'll say, you said now they're killing commentators, but as you know, since you're in this business, ask anyone in this business, has anyone ever tried to do this to you? And you'll find a lot of people who will say yes. This has been going on a while, actually, and no one wants to talk about it. It freaks your family out when you talk about it, but in public. But the truth is, this has been, whatever this is not new, and I'm just so sad.
They got one.
Truly sad.
They got one, Tucker, and that's why I say it's a before and after moment. It's a before and after because you know now.
No, it's true.
Now you have to grapple with copycats. Now you have to grapple with this as an option in the same way that Columbine crossed a line and created this new genre of violence. This is potentially where we're at now with political dialogue, and it's so antithetical to, yes, goodness and Christianity and all of it, but also just to the First Amendment and being an American.
Yes, that's right. Which is based on Christianity, by the way. We have a First Amendment because we believe God gave us the right to decide and to say what we think. It's the only reason we have the Bill of Rights.
I don't know. I worry about whether this is a tipping point, a turning point, sure, for the country in a negative way. You know, that this could be a descent into something, this could be the beginning of a descent into something even darker, right? As opposed to a period at the end of some terrible things that have been happening. What do you see?
I just want to repeat, I've gotten hundreds, of course, of texts and they're all the same. You know, I'm so sorry. I know you were close to him. Be safe. And I appreciate every single one. I've responded with gratitude to every one. But the one that stands out among the hundreds and hundreds I've received comes from my cousin Jake, who's one of the wisest people I know. And he said, I'm not praying for your safety. I'm praying that you would more fervently seek wisdom than ever before. That just stuck out to me right there. It's seek wisdom more than ever before, fervently. That's what we need to do.
When inflation jumps, when you hear the national debt is over $37 trillion, do you ever think maybe now would be a good time to buy some gold? Well, you'd be right. Whether as a hedge against inflation, peace of mind during global instability, or just for sensible diversification, Birch Gold Group believes every American should own physical gold. And so they created something special. Until September 30th, if you're a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 in free metals on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, request an info kit right now. Just text MK to 989898. Plus, Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you're still eligible for a rebate in free metals of up to $10,000. So make right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate up to $10,000 when you buy before September 30th. Text MK to the number 989898 to claim your eligibility and get your free info kit. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.